that has Mason Miller is not only not listed, he's not even priced. Like Colton Cowser is priced as if Mason Miller doesn't exist.
I don't think he's going to meet the innings required, minimum, whatever things. There might be some stipulation that they're going, we're going to put him in there, and he's not going to be eligible to win. And we're going to have to give all the bets back.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
And now you have to qualify in these majors. You got to go do it, man. Like, and it just comes off really petty to sit up there and be like, I'm not.
You know what you signed up for. So I don't like the pettiness. And I 100% think Taylor Gooch should be in the major championships. So in the same note, I'm saying this, but also it's like, hey, this is the world in which we live in right now, and you don't deserve anything.
Only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid. Your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Pharrell, coast to coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from three on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
In-game live, prime time.
We got not one, but two coaches fired systems in place.
SportsRage late
This sort of
night.
has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
This is Sports Rage. I am Gabriel Morency. Let's roll. So we've got a jam-packed show tonight. We're into the second period of play. It's the Wicked Wednesday, or at least I think it is. It seems like all these days get merged into one. The pimps, the players, the hustlers, the people to bust them, and everybody else in between. We had two early goals scored tonight by the Dallas Stars. And I've been to louder funerals, literally and figuratively. I'm not even exaggerating. You know, people always like have cliche lines and stuff. I've been to some pretty wild funerals. All right. I've been to louder funerals. Then the arena tonight at Edmonton, after they were down 1-0, an early goal, like literally really early. I don't know, like 48 seconds in or whatever. They dropped the puck, boom. Dallas scored. Man, like the vibe was gone. Darnell Nurse could like beat the living crap out of, 99.9% of their fans, but they want this guy's head on a platter. And the second goal hit him. It hit him in the ass, and it went in the net. Like, I tweeted right after, I said, you can't make that up. Like, what happened early with the Edmonton Oilers, you can't make up. But we all know the dreaded 2-0 lead in a hockey game. And the Dallas Stars had a 2-0 lead, so, of course, it's 2-2 right now. Because why wouldn't it be, right? Why wouldn't it be? It's a strange game, man. The Oilers didn't have any shots on goal for forever. It was one of those deals. They didn't have any shots on goal for like the first 12 minutes of the game. They weren't hitting anybody. They weren't doing anything. And they were down 2-0. And it was almost like you felt like their season was over. It's like, oh, this is done. Like, this team is ready to pack up shop. And here we are now. It's 2-2. I thought they had a power play coming up right now, but they don't. They don't. So it's 2-2, 7 minutes left. This total went as high as 8.5. It's currently 6.5 right now. The over 6.5 is minus 220. Under 6.5 is plus 170. As far as the game is concerned, it's pretty much what it was when we dropped the puck. Minus 135 and plus 105. We often talk about these overtime games. And would it be crazy to sprinkle on this game to go to overtime? Probably not. The only thing I'll say is, and I talk a lot about this, what's the difference going to be between the odds now and in 7 minutes? Probably not very much, actually. Last night was an anomaly with that the Ranger-Panther game. Never seen anything like that. I remember we were talking about it live last night. Man, there was like 12 minutes left in the game. It was plus 100 to go to overtime. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. That's why I was like, yeah, bet the under 5.5. If they're only giving you, the computer's locked in. This thing's going to overtime, and it did go to overtime. Is this one going to overtime? I don't know. It's kind of early. So I sort of called my shot here. I said I thought there was a power play coming up and self-fulfilling prophecy. Now there's a power play coming up. It's an opportunity for the Edmonton Oilers. I like this dude that's sitting right behind the Oilers bench. There's a dude, you notice he's got like a blue construction helmet on. And this guy is like symbolic, I think, of the Oiler fan base. He's gung-ho, he's into it, but as soon as things don't go their way, they're in a lot of trouble. So it's a Dallas power play coming up. Like, really? I swear to God, Dallas, it seems like Dallas got away with a lot more than what Edmonton just got called for. But nevertheless. So, yeah, check out, you'll see the dude behind, he's right behind the bench. He's sitting in, like, the front row, which isn't a very good seat, actually. You know, I guess you're on TV all night, but what do you really see when you're sitting there? You'll notice that's the big breast spot as well. Taylor Stevens, our girl Taylor Stevens, started that years ago. And we should get Taylor on the show. I saw her. We were tweeting with each other the other day. It's been a little while, but Taylor Stevens, it was years ago in Los Angeles at a Kings game. And, you know, they're very large, and it was right behind the coach's head all night. And it was an LA King game, so it went viral and stuff. And you'll notice now it's pretty much par for the course. I don't think you're allowed to sit behind the net unless you've got a big rack, right? So tonight, though, it's Edmonton, so it's a little different. There's a dude with his girlfriend sitting. He's got she's all decked out in like glitter and stuff, and he's got the construction helmet on. Dude, when Dallas scored, man, his face and he's sitting there. He reached over for his beer. He looked like he just got sentenced to jail time. Like he was sitting in a courtroom. He was like his face, it was 1-0 and it was 2-0. Like he had his hands down. And it's like, dude, you know, like the players can totally see you. Like you're literally right behind them. So they must look over and go, dear God, look at our loser idiot fans, man. This guy's got a construction helmet on. It's 2-0. He's crying behind our bench. And now it's 2-2. He's got a little bit more pep in his step right now. He's sort of into it. You guys will catch him next time they do a bet shop. See if they can get through this power play, though. And, they got a 2-on-1 here, potentially 3-on-1. So you got to finish this off. They do. I say you got to finish that off. Special teams, big time. Short-handed, the Edmonton Oilers take a 3-2 lead with 5:29 left. Wow. That's like, you know, you get those opportunities like that. You heard me say it out loud doing it. I said, you got to take advantage of this. It was sort of 2-on-1. It started turning into a 3-on-1. It was like, all right, guys, these are what wins and loses games, plays like this now. Tell you what, like people always talk about this with the Oilers. I've seen this team a lot, and I've seen them live. I went to the last series, etc. People always say, oh, well, other people need to step up. It can't be McDavid and Draisaitl all the time. No. Draisaitl and McDavid need to step up. It's everybody else. It really is. Like, look at this game. It's the scrub dudes that keep on scoring for them. Corey Perry, crashed the net, one of the last goals there, and it was chipped in after. I saw it against the Vancouver Canucks. I know McDavid had a bunch of assists and stuff, but for the most part, like I said, to me, I watch this team. It's like, no, McDavid, you need to step up. Draisaitl hasn't done anything in this series. You can pick on Darnell Nurse all you want. Draisaitl has had a million scoring opportunities. The dude puts the puck over the net all the time. He's thinking too much. So that was a big-time goal, though, by the Edmonton Oilers. I'm fired up for this because I just want this thing to be over with. I got that parlay with the both hockey series to go over 5.5 games. Oh my goodness, they did it again. And I was talking about where the hell is Draisaitl? Right on cue, Draisaitl scores. Look at these losers in Edmonton. These guys are all like running down to it's like a rock show. The fans just all started running down the stairs to bang on the glass. It's like, hey, where was this a half an hour ago? No, I'm not going to call it the fans in the building, actually. They're the real ones. It's the losers online. There's a big difference with that. I go to a lot of sporting events and stuff, and you see, like, there's a big difference between Alabama fan that's never been to a game in his life, that doesn't live in Alabama, that runs his mouth online, and some married couple that actually go to Alabama games, right? Like, I had no beef with Oiler fans. I went to a bunch of their games, just against the Canucks. I had no beef with any of the Oiler fans. Whatever. They're cool. It was all right. It was no problem. But, like, online, they're very, very annoying. See, it's a difference, right? Everybody's a chirper online. Real life is a little different. So, 4-2. Wow. They buried it. They did it again. Wow. The only thing is now, I will say, I just wanted to get this thing over with. This series has been stressing me out. I'm not even an Oiler fan. I just, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of dealing with it. So I went over 5.5 games at both hockey series at plus 128. We already got one of them home, right? With the Rangers and the Panthers. We're going at least 6 in that series. So I just need the Oilers to win one game. And I hit the parlay and I can move on. This is SportsRage. Bring it.
Missed call the entire game, whether it's a charge or a block or a deflection that was wrong or a foul that should have been called that wasn't called or vice versa. Give me a 48-minute report. And people that will understand that there's so many mistakes that the referees make over the course of the game that referees, ready folks, don't decide the outcome.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
How fragile are these guys? It's amazing. They're supposed to be the greatest athletes in the world, and yet they can't walk and chew gum at the same time without getting hurt, for goodness sakes.
That Trout injury really is a bummer, too, because people thought he was going to have a big year. And I look, I don't feel bad for the Angels. I don't like Mike Trout in Anaheim. I thought he should have left when his contract was up.
In-game live, prime time, only on SportsGrid.
With the onset of NIL and the transfer portal, it is allowing players to develop further in college, and guys that would maybe be stuck on the bench at a power program and not have as much shine are having the ability to find themselves in the spotlight.
Lane Kiffin came out and said you need to get bigger and more physical in terms of the offense and defensive lines, and that's why he went out and recruited that talent.
Inside the transfer portal. Only on SportsGrid.
And now you have to qualify, and these majors, you got to go do it, man. Like, and it just comes off really petty to sit up there and be like, I'm not.
You know what you signed up for. So I don't like the pettiness, and I 100% think Taylor Gooch should be in the major championships.
Mm-hmm.
So in the same note, I'm saying this, but also it's like, hey, this is the world in which we live in right now, and you don't deserve anything.
Only on SportsGrid.
This is SportsRage. I am Gabriel Morency. Breaking it down this evening on the Wicked Wednesday. The Stanley Cup playoffs continue, and the Stanley Cup playoffs are like a Mexican soap opera. You don't know what's going to happen next, and things can change in a hurry, and teams are like characters that get killed off as time goes on. It's the same thing. Teams get killed off, but the ups and downs and the emotions. You know what it is? Actually, this hockey is like the old show on VH1 or whatever it was, behind the scenes of the band, and then the band broke up. it was over. And then the voice, or was it? As they reunited for you. Like, you know what I mean? You have like the drama. You know what I mean? And that was the last time Kiss would ever play together. And then, like, on another voice cam, it comes in, like, more optimistic. But optimism would show. Is a reunion around the corner? Right? Like, it's the same type of thing with this. It's like, I was like, this was over for the Oilers. It felt like it was an elimination game. The crowd was ready to riot. It was 2-0. They turn on the team. It's so negative in there. I see the halftime, the intermission shows and stuff, and people are like, "Well, Dallas are just too good. They're going to win the cup. They're better than they're even Florida and New York. They don't have a chance. Dallas are just too good." Here it is, 4-2 right now, Cam. Now Edmonton's winning.
I got to be honest with you, Morency. When it was 2-0, and I don't go here very often because me and you bet, I started thinking, wow, my Dallas futures and things are looking really good right now. And I'm not even going to hedge on Edmonton. And then when Edmonton scored that first goal, I'm like, uh-oh, Spaghetti-O. I know what happens with hockey. And then they get that momentum. You're right, though, Gabe. That building was a funeral. Like, it was like at a funeral. When Dallas made it 2-0, they were dead. They were ready to, like, almost walk out of the building. And now they score 4 unanswered goals. Brady, me and Gabe played the game. Like, it is insane right now, the swings of this sport. And I don't even think Dallas is dead. Gabe brought up a great point before we came on. I will take Dallas plus 2.5 in this game. DeBoer's going to get these guys rioting at the break, and I would not be shocked if this game ended like 6-5 for somebody. Like, it's going to be nuts.
Just for the record, my teams were very good. I didn't blow a lot of leads. How you doing, Brady?
My team's did. We sucked.
I think I don't have this in front of me, and I don't know if I can find this in Las Vegas, but I'd probably bet what you can probably find, I'm sure, at plus money right now, that they're going to overtime. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Crazy plus money.
Extra hockey.
It's plus 650 for this game to go to overtime right now.
I was going to say 350. I think that's good value. I think this game has a heck of a chance to go to overtime. You guys, it's exactly what we're talking about. This is so far from over. I shouldn't say
it really is.
So far from finished. It's already over.
A lot of hockey left. And sort of we see this. We're at the time now. All these teams are really good. And you go through these lulls where nothing happens, and then, boom, a team will score a bunch of goals. The Rangers do this, right? The Rangers look like they're in trouble all the time, and then suddenly they get, oh, my God, they scored 3 goals. Like Dallas the other night scored in spurts. All this stuff sort of happens in spurts. But Edmonton were flat here. But, Brady, you're a big golf guy, and obviously we're going to get to the golf, but you've been enjoying these NHL playoffs, and you've been doing pretty well with your future plays, too. You've got positions on both these teams.
Yeah, I do. I had 3 out of the final 4 nailed, and full transparency here, a little bit of help from our friend Gamblu, Lou Finicaro, of course, who you have on your show every week. Not only good in the UFC, but really good in postseason hockey. And so I, listen to him every year. And he told me about Dallas. I don't really follow the regular season, a little bit, cursory level. And, of course, I'm watching the Knights here in town. But he told me about Dallas. I jumped on then, and then I kind of looked at the rest of the tournament and the prices and, kind of did a little handicapping the handicappers. And I ended up with the Rangers. I took 2 teams to take the West, 2 teams to take the East. Ended up with the Rangers and Panthers and the Stars and the Canucks. Almost got the Canucks home for the Final 4. But then when it ended up being Edmonton, I hedged a little bit with them. So I'm good with either team winning the series here. I win a little more with Dallas, but I have been still betting the games individually night to night as well. And tonight I went with Dallas. It's kind of like what you talked about, Cam. They're just so good on the road. We saw them do it against the Knights. We saw that every series this postseason, they've lost that home opener. And in the Vegas Golden Knights series, they lost 2 of the first 2 games at home. And then they come back and they get it done on the road. So, plus money on the road. We know the road teams have been more successful than the home teams this postseason. That seems to be a trend, for the last few years anyway. So, yeah, rooting for the Stars tonight, but I'm good either way with who wins this series.
Coming into tonight, and I went over the numbers last night, coming into tonight, Brady, road teams have won 56% of the games in the playoffs this year, which is actually the highest ratio since 1966.
Wow.
Like, it's really, like you said, Dallas are really good. Everybody is almost. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's almost like we don't want to play at home. Like Florida loses at home all the time. Florida loses.
They do.
If that's the case, 56%, whatever, then why wouldn't you play plus 115, plus 120 on the road, right?
Well, imagine if you just blindly did it. I even remember when it was 42 and 43 and 32. So 32 and 43 or whatnot. So 75 games, blind bets at plus money all the way through pretty much.
Yep. Not a
and
bad
you hit
way
56%.
to go. Mark that down for next year. Give me a minute, guys.
No, well, to be honest, if you look, the NBA's kind of been the same this year in the playoffs too. Home court.
Yeah.
Doesn't really mean very much, right? You saw Dallas Mavericks last night. Minnesota win on the road more than they seem to win at home. It's a new world right now. Sorry, we're going into the intermission right now. Yeah, overtime is plus 650. The puck line right now, you can get the Dallas Stars actually at plus 2.5, minus 115.
Sold. Already clicked it twice. And
I'm actually surprised. I'm surprised they're doing that. It's almost too good to be true.
It is. I feel like
it should be like minus 170 or something. Be like, no, not minus 115.
I'm walking into Morency's bar and they're like, hey, Cam, drinks are free. I'm like, yeah, literally, like, yeah.
I'm a big lemon, but even I'm like, this seems like a trap.
I'm getting squeezed like a lemon, but hey, that's the way it is. Gabe, we talked about this before too, for all you guys betting, and Mark Lawrence, we talked about it, and Gabe does this too. If you like the Oilers going into this game, I talked about it with Morency. They were plus 220 in the series. You bet them in the game and the series. Say they tie it up. You got a great number.
The Stars plus 2.5 is a good play now.
Thank you.
Every missed call, the entire game, whether it's a charge or a block or a deflection that was wrong or a foul that should have been called that wasn't called or vice versa. Give me a 48-minute report. And people that will understand that there's so many mistakes that the referees make over the course of the game that referees, ready folks, don't decide the outcome.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
How fragile are these guys? It's amazing. They're supposed to be the greatest athletes in the world, and yet they can't walk and chew gum at the same time without getting hurt, for goodness sakes.
That Trout injury really is a bummer too, because people thought he was going to have a big year. And I look, I don't feel bad for the Angels. I don't like Mike Trout in Anaheim. I thought he should have left when his contract was up.
In-game live, prime time, only on SportsGrid.
With the onset of NIL and the transfer portal, it is allowing players to develop further in college, and guys that would maybe be stuck on the bench at a power program and not have as much shine are having the ability to find themselves in the spotlight.
Lane Kiffin came out and said we need to get bigger and more physical in terms of the offense and defensive lines, and that's why he went out and recruited that talent.
Inside the transfer portal, only on SportsGrid.
And now you have to qualify, and these majors, you got to go do it, man. Like, and it just comes off really petty to sit up there and be like, I'm not.
You know what you signed up for. So I don't like the pettiness, and I 100% think Taylor Gooch should be in the major championships.
Mm-hmm.
So in the same note, I'm saying this, but also it's like, hey, this is the world in which we live in right now, and you don't deserve anything.
Only on SportsGrid.
This is SportsRage. I'm Morency. We're at the intermission right now of the hockey game. Brady Cannon in the house with us. I saw Todd Furman, who's a very smart guy, earlier in the day tweet out, and he goes, these are my personal rankings as far as the playoffs are concerned. And he said NHL number 1, Major League Baseball number 2, NFL number 3, NBA number 4. really couldn't argue. I've been in an argumentative move today, too, and I almost looked at it. I was like, I'll prove Todd wrong. And I looked at it. I was like, good tweet, Todd. And I moved on. I was like, he's right. Good tweet. Moved on.
I'm in 100% agreement.
Yeah, no, it was good rankings. But my point is, let me just.
Guy.
No, smart guy, yeah. So I was going to say at what other league are you going to be in a situation, guys? Like we're just talking about the ups and downs, Brady, of here we are right now, game 4s and game 5s. You can make an argument that all 4 teams could win the cup still. We don't know who's going to be in the cup still.
I agree.
Like, it's crazy.
No,
it's like, we know like
really
Boston are waiting in the
tournament.
NBA. Dallas are going to get there, and it might be 2 days, 4 days, whatever. Dallas are making the finals. We know. NHL, we don't know. We don't know who's going to win this game. The Rangers, the Panthers can go either way. This series could go either way. No one knows. That's what makes it so good.
It's been fantastic. And every game I watch, I learn more about these teams. And I think the odd man out for me, guys, is Edmonton. Skinner, I think, is a little bit susceptible to a bad night, where he lets the door open there on that goal. I feel like it's kind of like that classic football team or something that's built for the regular season. Edmonton kind of feels that way to me with the star power.
I don't disagree with you. You're right. But
and the other teams,
a counter argument
Florida,
is if they beat Dallas, they can beat anybody.
Yep.
Right?
That's
like you
true.
couldn't say after a while they can't beat the Rangers or the Panthers camp. They just beat the freaking Dallas Stars, who everybody thinks is the best team in the league.
Here's the deal. Dallas is up 2-0. If they score and make it 3-0, Skinner's pulled. People leave the building and they're done. The fact that they got that next goal, it just changed the whole face of the game. And Gabe knows Edmonton is a fragile hockey team. What they did tonight is very, very impressive. It actually shocked me because Dallas
they
is
are
one of
fragile,
the teams.
Cam. But when things are going well for Edmonton, they're very good front runners. Like
Exactly.
now, suddenly it's like, oh, hey, we're great. Like and they're a good road team. And you talked about it, Brady and Cam. Dallas aren't dominant at home. They get all their work done on the road. So if you're Edmonton, you're like, we can beat them in Dallas. We already did in game 1.
I think New York is a team that came in a little disrespected, too. They have really impressed me. They're a gritty team.
Yeah, they were dogs against the Canes, dogs against the Panthers.
Right. And they just find a way to stick around, and they win what'd they win, their first 7 or 8 games of this playoff series or this postseason?
Let's call it out for what it is. 5-on-5, out of all the teams that were there, they were the worst 5-on-5 team. They find ways to win. I respect that because in hockey, it's a tight game. Without Shesterkin, these guys don't even beat Carolina. Florida has dominated these games. Right, Gabe?
They earned it. They had the 1 seed, and they got the Capitals in the first round. They looked a little better than sort of one of these things. But all right, we get some golf here.
Oh, yeah,
hockey on.
The hockey report.
Canadian golf.
Canadian golf.
It's fitting because they have the hockey boards up again, right? Yeah. So they got I saw they have the setup, they got the boards up and stuff. So it should be fun time in Hamilton. Ian Cameron will join us actually from very close to the golf course a little bit later on. I brought this up last night, Brady. Interesting tidbit as far as the Canadian Open. Arnold Palmer recorded his first ever PGA Tour win at the Canadian Open in 1955. Pretty cool.
Wow. Yeah.
And it's something I never knew before. I figured I would have known that. I was like, no, I didn't know this. I just knew that. I found out this yesterday.
Not a bad guy to have as your inaugural or his inaugural victory at your home tournament, right? I mean, Arnie, I mean, he before Tiger Woods, before Jack, Arnie is the man. He started the popularity of the game. He's the reason for the rest of these guys. Arnie's the guy, man. That's a pretty good.
He was likable. He's one of those guys that everyone liked him, right?
No, what he did, Gabe,
Arnold Palmer.
He returned letters. Like people would write him, like he still did to the day he died. He went up to Zalatoris, like, congratulations, like at Wake Forest, because he knew that he used to handwrite letters to players and tell them, "I'm proud of you, keep working at it," and stuff like that. And he said all the players saved all the letters that Arnold wrote. He's the biggest class act that ever played the damn game.
And not that Jack isn't. But Jack was so dominant. When you're the number one, you're sort of the villain, right? People are like pulling for the other guy. It's like, let's see Lee Trevino win. You know what I mean? Let's let somebody else get it done. But just a little interesting tidbit. All right, we'll get Brady and Cam Canadian Open picks, RBC style.
Arnold.
missed call the entire game, whether it's a charge or a block or a deflection that was wrong or a foul that should have been called that wasn't called or vice versa. Give me a 48-minute report. And people that will understand that there's so many mistakes that the referees make over the course of the game that referees, ready folks, don't decide the outcome.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
How fragile are these guys? It's amazing. They're supposed to be the greatest athletes in the world, and yet they can't walk and chew gum at the same time without getting hurt, for goodness sakes.
That Trout injury really is a bummer too, because people thought he was going to have a big year. And I look, I don't feel bad for the Angels. I don't like Mike Trout in Anaheim. I thought he should have left when his contract was up.
In-game live, prime time, only on SportsGrid.
With the onset of NIL and the transfer portal, it is allowing players to develop further in college, and guys that would maybe be stuck on the bench at a power program and not have as much shine are having the ability to find themselves in the spotlight.
Lane Kiffin came out and said we need to get bigger and more physical in terms of the offensive defensive lines, and that's why he went out and recruited that talent.
Inside the transfer portal, only on SportsGrid.
And now you have to qualify, and these majors, you got to go do it, man. Like, and it just comes off really petty to sit up there and be like, I'm not.
You know what you signed up for. So I don't like the pettiness, and I 100% think Taylor Gooch should be in the major championships. So in the same note, I'm saying this, but also it's like, hey, this is the world in which we live in right now, and you don't deserve anything.
Only on SportsGrid.
This is SportsRage. I am Gabriel Morency. All right, let's get to the Canadian Open right now. Let's get to the picks. I'm going to throw it to the pro in the house here, Brady Cannon, with us. And I want to see who Brady likes and who Cam likes. And I want to throw it out there. I got two guys. So I want to say them first to see if they're on your guys' lists. And my two players are Sahith Theegala and Corey Connors.
Wow.
Those are the two golfers I'm taking this week. So what do you got for us, Brady Cannon?
Well, we match up on the first one. Mr. Theegala made my card. And I tell you what, this is an interesting tournament, guys, because you only have a handful of guys at the top of the board that are, come with some star power and recognizable names. Sam Burns, Rory, Shane Lowry, Theegala, whatever. And I did all my research and I came up with Theegala and I said, oh boy, he's going to be really popular this week. And I hate to be with the most popular guy, but you look at the numbers and you can't avoid him. And I expect him to do well. Sometimes when you're on the most popular guy, they really flame out, but I think Theegala is going to do well. I got him at 20-1, and I'm with you there, Gabe. I took another shorter shot with Alex Noren, another guy that's just been playing fantastic. 8 top 25 finishes in a row. I think this course sets up for his game really well. He seems to play well at any course. He can play at Valhalla, big boy golf course. He does fine there. He plays at a little tiny track where you got to chip and putt. He does fine there. Noren's just been on fire. I got him at 25. And then after that, I went with, lesser known. I tried to really get into the weeds and find some diamonds in the rough, because when you've only got a handful of, favorites, if you will, everybody else is like 40-1 and higher. And I'm like, okay, where's the winner this week? I gotta get in deep. And because the majority here is, these guys that are kind of relative unknowns, who's going to come out on top this week. I started with Aaron Rai, tremendous ball striker, 3rd here last year at Oakdale, 13th at St. George's, played him at 42-1. And then I went down to Mark Hubbard at 80-1, probably having the best year of his entire career. He's starting to putt better. He hits it straight. You got to be accurate off the tee here. Got Hubbard at 80-1. And then Seamus Power, I got at triple digits. I've seen him come down a lot. got him at 105-1. This guy has really been nails in the last 2 signature events. Finished 12th at Harbor Town and 16th at the Wells Fargo. And that's against, a field full of studs. Now we have a little bit of a more watered down field. I think power is going to show up. And then this one, I really went out on a limb. This was a little more obscure. Danny Berger at 80-1. This guy has basically been off the tour for 2 years with back problems. Had pretty much the same back surgery, I understand, as Will Zalatoris. But now it looks like he's starting to get healthy. And we remember, before this guy had injuries, he's a world beater. He's one of the best in the world. So you figure he's going to come around at some point. This might be the time. He's made the cut in 5 out of his last 6 starts. He's really striping it off the tee. The irons are in play. The short game has not quite come around yet. But if it does this week, I think Danny Berger's a strong play. I played all these guys for an outright win and a top 20 finish. And I'm really curious to see if I've timed this right with Danny Berger.
Now, let me ask you, because you talked about looking for some value on this course, I have to ask you about Rory. No value at all, obviously, at plus 400, but he's won here a couple of times. He's won, actually, at this course, even. He's won the Canadian Open a couple of times. I believe this would be his 3rd Canadian Open win. The Canadian fans really take to him. They're beer drinkers. He knows how to play to the crowd, as we know. Rory is very popular at the Canadian Open. No value with him, Cam, but it wouldn't be surprising if he actually did win. Let's just be real. I just want to throw that out there.
Great call, Morency, and Brady will admit this. If Rory's driver, if he doesn't spray it, he could run away with this tournament. It's short. So if he's hitting fairways and he's hitting at 365 off the tee, he's going to have chip and putts all the way to the green. It's about his putter. If he sprays it, that's the only course defense Hamilton has. It's a tree-lined golf course, old school. And Rory can get a little bit loose with the big stick, but he murders it. So I agree, Gabe. He could be in the mix, but his price, I just have to avoid him. I think you need a better number than that. We will see.
When he won here in 2019, he was ranked 6th in the field for driving distance and 22nd for driving accuracy. So, yeah, like you said, Cam, if he's finding the fairway, then look out, man. He won by 7 shots in 2019.
Fleetwood's another sentimental pick for some this week, guys. Cam, people want to see this guy win.
Jeff Feinberg's crush, my boy Geoff there, he loves Tommy Fleetwood when he came second to Nick Taylor.
And Jeff's like a groupie. I think he's in the car. He's in the parking lot right now in Hamilton.
I would not be shocked
for the selfie guys with the golfers.
I would not get shocked.
They're like, it's this kid from Toronto again here. Oh, yeah.
What? Who's at the pub in Hamilton? It's Geoff and Tommy Fleetwood having beers. Yeah, like this guy loves Fleetwood. They're like friends now. I think they hang out. I love Fleetwood.
He's already doing videos from the parking lot, Brady. He's talking.
Feinberg's our guy. But I'll tell you this, Tommy Fleetwood checks a lot of boxes this week. The thing is, can he close the door? Lost in a heartbreaking playoff to Nick Taylor at Feinberg's home course last year. Great Canadian Open. His numbers, you want a little bit higher because he hasn't won, but I expect Fleetwood to be in the mix. I have him for a top 10 finish, Gabe, at plus 180. I put Fleetwood in there for sure. Thanks, guys.
So Brady played all of these guys for top finishes as well. Love that Seamus Power. He's my guy. I've won with Seamus before.
Seamus Power. He's my guy.
It's true.
I love that. That's the best line.
Remember, I took him to win, and he actually won. I don't know. I won like a 65, 80-1 or something once.
Yeah,
Brady. I was on him. I was on him. Yeah. He
nice
became
work.
my guy.
He lives in Las Vegas.
Does he? I didn't know that.
An Irishman here in Las Vegas.
He's a good
that spells trouble.
It sure does.
Him and Connor are going to hook up.
Yeah.
So yes, plus 320, Cam and Brady. Seamus Power, plus 320 for top 20. Pretty good odds. Let me ask you, though, Brady.
Not one Canadian major card? Nice.
Not one Canadian major card.
And it wasn't intentional, Gabe. Yeah, good question. And in years past, it kind of has been intentional for me because, Nick Taylor last year, first guy in 69 years. So, but I didn't even really pay attention to that this year. And I just kind of went down the board and who made sense. And, Corey Connors, I actually shot in an article I wrote earlier today. One shop, a BetMGM shop in New Jersey, took some sharp action against Corey Connors in a head-to-head matchup. Adam Scott to beat Corey Connors. I really like Mackenzie Hughes. Pendrith, I think maybe it's still too soon after the win. Hadwin, he showed up last year, played pretty darn well.
He's the one who got tackled, right? Hadwin got tackled.
He got smoked. Yeah.
Yep. Svensson, I think, is a little bit sneaky. He's not quite in form. If I had to play any Canadian player right now, I'd probably look at Svensson or Hughes.
There's also, guys, when I did my show with Mayo Game, people aren't paying attention. This kid Anderson, he's 35-1, 60 in some offshores. He is the top player, money winner on the Canadian Latino Tour. And he's right now top Canadian. I talked to Mayo about it today. They're betting him at like 60-1. It's obviously a long shot. I bet Adam Hadwin, top Canadian, plus 650 I found. So that's my guy. Yeah.
There's a lot of Canadians in this tournament. I'm looking, even like the guys, even the Quebecers on like the club pros are showing up for this one.
Papineau. Jacques Papineau and all the French
Marc
guys.
Olivier
Feels like the biggest turnout in years.
Yes, amazing.
Well, hit this with the best top Canadian, Cam. They have a lot of that. Corey Connors plus 280, Mackenzie Hughes plus 450, Hadwin 6-1, Nick Taylor plus 750, Pendrith plus 750, Svensson plus 750. Ben Silverman, 14-1.
Watch out for Silverman. He plays well on short tracks. He's good, man. He makes money.
He popped up in my stats. I agree with you.
Huh?
He can be a sneaky one.
Can play.
Thanks, Brady.
All right, guys. Be good.
Later, Brady.
Missed call the entire game, whether it's a charge or a block or a deflection that was wrong or a foul that should have been called that wasn't called or vice versa. Give me a 48-minute report. And people that will understand that there's so many mistakes that the referees make over the course of the game that referees, ready folks, don't decide the outcome.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
How fragile are these guys? It's amazing. They're supposed to be the greatest athletes in the world, and yet they can't walk and chew gum at the same time without getting hurt, for goodness sakes.
That Trout injury really is a bummer, too, because people thought he was going to have a big year. And I look, I don't feel bad for the Angels. I don't like Mike Trout in Anaheim. I thought he should have left when his contract was up.
In-game live, prime time, only on SportsGrid.
With the onset of NIL and the transfer portal, it is allowing players to develop further in college, and guys that would maybe be stuck on the bench at a power program and not have as much shine are having the ability to find themselves in the spotlight.
Lane Kiffin came out and said you need to get bigger and more physical in terms of the offensive defensive lines, and that's why he went out and recruited that talent.
Inside the transfer portal, only on SportsGrid.
And now you have to qualify, and these majors, you got to go do it, man. Like, and it just comes off really petty to sit up there and be like, I'm not.
You know what you signed up for. So I don't like the pettiness, and I 100% think Taylor Gooch should be in the major championships. So in the same note, I'm saying this, but also it's like, hey, this is the world in which we live in right now, and you don't deserve anything.
Only on SportsGrid.
This is SportsRage. I'm Morency. So the third period has started. We're at the 15:50 mark right now. 4-2 for the Edmonton Oilers. They nearly made it 5-2. They had a scoring opportunity. They were buzzing around the net here. Next goal is obviously pivotal. Dallas scored the next goal. We've got a game again. Edmonton scored the next goal. Then it's game, set, match. And we're moving on back to Dallas, tied at 2. I said before games 3 and 4 started in both the series is that I thought that it would be 2-2 after 4. I probably should have put my money where my mouth was and did series correct score after 4 games. But I played that parlay over 5.5 games in the Panthers and the Rangers and over 5.5 games in this series. And I'm not going to lie. When it was 2-0 early for Dallas tonight, I was like, dear God, I should have just cashed out. They're not even going to win another game. No, Cam, I actually thought, I was like, they're going to lose this game, and they're going to go to Dallas, and they're going to lose, and I'm going to lose this parlay. I was like, it's not even going to, I was like, I can't believe it. And I was like, don't panic, though. Yep. Boom, here we are now. Still a lot of hockey left. Mr. Hockey himself is ready to step up. And Paul Bovey. I think Paul Bovey's in the house with us. Paul, you ready to rock?
Yep. I am, man. It's that time of year, man. You got to get involved in hockey, as you brought out before. And I think our friend Todd Furman said it. Hockey, playoffs, number 1, NBA, number 4. Although the NBA has been pretty good this year, but you got to go with the NHL.
The NBA was more competitive these playoffs. But still, you know what? You had these 7-game series and stuff sometimes. And you had some close games, but the thing is, you have really close games, and then a team will get swept in 4 close games. Or you'll have a 7-game series, and one team will get blown out, and then the other team will get blown out, and it goes back and forth. But, it hasn't been bad. I've enjoyed the NBA playoffs as well, Paul, but the Stanley Cup playoffs, they get hyped up a lot, and hockey people like to tell you how great they are. But this year's Stanley Cup playoffs, absolutely off the hook, Paul. And I said earlier, what other league, and even I've been following the NHL since, the mid-'70s, it's not often in any sport that we could be going into Game 4s and Game 5s in the Western and Eastern Conference playoffs. We have no idea who can still win the Stanley Cup, Paul. Could be any one of these 4 teams.
Yeah, and you know what? You brought out a good point before. 56% of the time, the road team has prevailed in these NHL playoffs, and what creates the mystique of hockey, because you never know who's going to prevail. Whereas with the NBA, you kind of know the whole team is going to hold serve, but that's just not true in hockey. And look, this Rangers series has been fantastic. I got to give the Rangers a lot of credit. Shazirkin, he's been amazing. 77 shots to 46 the last 2 games, and somehow the Rangers have come out with 1 victory there. 5-4. Somehow Wenberg tips that puck in, and it's 2-2. It's a great series.
It's been a lot of fun at the Garden. You had the Knicks run, and now this Rangers run. It's been a fun summer. Yankees actually are balling. The Mets are not. So nothing ever changes, actually, in New York. So yeah, Yankees win. Mets lose. Ricky Henderson's unhappy, as the saying goes. But the Yankees are up 1-0 right now on the Angels. Speaking of which, and if you can, Tommy, we'll go to the phone board with Paul. Yeah. It's clear, but we got a little bit of a buzz. Sounds like we're on a bad sort of. We got a weird computer sort of thing going on here.
Yeah.
So reset with Paul if you can. Sounds like a stick song. Domo Magrado, Mr. Roboto.
Mr.
I'm waiting for the voice. Domo Magrado, Mr. Roboto.
Yes. Peter,
well, sort of progressively started to get worse.
Yeah,
see, I understand these things before other people get upset. I'm like, all right, I'm like the manager. Yeah, I'm like the manager. I'm like, pull the pitcher. That's it. Like, we got to pull the pitcher.
Bobby's arm's going to fall off. He's at 132.
But he's what good. I am curious about, I'm willing to almost bet money, Paul's in America right now, because he's normally good when he's in Mexico, the Philippines, anywhere else. I bet you he's in like a United States of America state right now. Yep. Can we find out before he even gets back? Where are you at, Paul? Where's Paul?
State. New York
Where are you
State.
at, Paul? All right, well, we got to read.
You're right,
kill his
Brett.
audio. I don't want to hear this.
Yeah,
kill his audio.
Cut tape, man. Like that thing. Yeah, the robot can take it over. Holy jeez, my ears are popping out, Morency.
Well, I asked like 5 times. When I said reset with him, it means take them off. That's what I meant. Like, it means like take them off.
Yeah, correct. Morency.
Like a manager telling the pitching coach, I'm like, dude, I effing told you to take the pitcher out. Like,
what I love,
Morency,
imagine Morency, you're like the boss in the factory and you're smoking a cigar. And I told you guys, be careful with those flats. I get all the merchandise is busted.
I just come on over to the microphone of the warehouse. Can you guys move a little faster if you could?
What was your buddy's name again for the band? Sloan, because he was too slow. Yeah, Sloan. He's a lazy Sloan.
Yeah, the rock band Sloan. They got their name because of a dude in the band actually worked. I have a guy in my band, Homicide. Like they all know each other. They're from Halifax. Yeah. And he goes, oh, yeah, Sloan got a name. He goes, the bass player Sloan. He goes, we all worked in this factory together. And he goes, the guy was like a real slacker, like not a real good worker at all. And he goes, the foreman used to like call him Sloan for like slow. And he's like, where's that effing Sloan guy anyways? It's like for a slacker.
I love it.
Slow slacker. Yeah.
I love Sloan.
He's slow. What's Sloan? So they started calling him Sloan. He goes, hey, Sloan, hurry the F up. Right? So they named their band Sloan after
Sloan.
Pretty.
It worked out. Yeah. Good story.
I'm not a massive fan of the band or anything, but they were successful. All right.
They were. No, the thing about that band is, they had some. I respect them. Let's put it that way, Gabe. But
they did their thing. They did their own thing. They did their thing.
They weren't like biters or posers or anything. They're just a rock and roll band.
They had the funny line too, where they made fun of themselves in the Sloan song, where he goes, "It's not the band I hate, it's their fans."
Great line.
It's a good line.
Excellent line.
It's not the band I hate, it's their fans. It's like the Oilers.
Every missed call, the entire game, whether it's a charge or a block or a deflection that was wrong or a foul that should have been called that wasn't called or vice versa. Give me a 48-minute report. And people that will understand that there's so many mistakes that the referees make over the course of the game that referees, ready folks, don't decide the outcome.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
How fragile are these guys? It's amazing. They're supposed to be the greatest athletes in the world, and yet they can't walk and chew gum at the same time without getting hurt, for goodness sakes.
That Trout injury really is a bummer too, because people thought he was going to have a big year. And I look, I don't feel bad for the Angels. I don't like Mike Trout in Anaheim. I thought he should have left when his contract was up.
In-game live, prime time, only on SportsGrid.
With the onset of NIL and the transfer portal, it is allowing players to develop further in college, and guys that would maybe be stuck on the bench at a power program and not have as much shine are having the ability to find themselves in the spotlight.
Lane Kiffin came out and said you need to get bigger and more physical in terms of the offensive defensive lines, and that's why he went out and recruited that talent.
Inside the transfer portal, only on SportsGrid.
And now you have to qualify, and these majors, you got to go do it, man. Like, and it just comes off really petty to sit up there and be like, I'm not.
You know what you signed up for. So I don't like the pettiness, and I 100% think Taylor Gooch should be in the major championships. Mm-hmm. So in the same note, I'm saying this, but also it's like, hey, this is the world in which we live in right now, and you don't deserve anything.
Only on SportsGrid.
This is SportsRage. I'm Morency. It's chaos here. It feels like it's a Friday night freak show. We're trying to work things out with Paul Bovey behind the scenes right now. Paul warned us before he came on. He goes, guys, I'm a little worried about the internet in this hotel. And it was actually fine. We said, no, you look good. It sounds good. But he had some sort of freezing problems with sort of, it was jamming up on him. Some of these hotels is deceptive. I know it's frustrating, you log in, you think everything's fine, and it really isn't on the other side. And, of course, we had that little audio glitch with Paul, but I'm not kidding. It's sort of like Drew Martin. Last time Drew was with us last week, we had he got knocked off like 3-4 times. He's in Florida. You'll see he's going to join us from Mexico next week. It'll be fine. You know, people think everything is the best all the time in North America. It isn't. Like, it isn't. The Wi-Fi in Costa Rica is better. But on the flip side, there's rabid, angry monkeys and big snakes walking around the streets of Costa Rica as well.
Good point.
So you trade it off. It's like, wow, I got really high-speed internet here, but there's a big-ass cobra under my car.
Yeah, I went for a dip, and next thing you know, a gator's locked to my leg. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, so there's issues.
I told you, I was in Costa Rica, and some girl came up to me. She goes, "Did you see a monkey?" I said, "What?" She goes, there's a animal reserve right across the street from here. She goes, there's an angry monkey that he escapes all the time, but he's a little aggressive. Keep your head up. All casual. I'm like, I'm looking around. And then I'm shooting hoops. There's like this basketball. I'm having a beer and I'm shooting some hoops. And a guy comes out and he goes, "Hey, by the way," he goes, "Beautiful day, huh?" And I'm like, "Oh, yeah." He goes, "By the way, there's a big dangerous cobra around here that's been around recently." So I'm like, Cam, I literally just picked everything up. And inside. I was like, I'm going inside now. I'm not dealing with cobras and monkeys, all right?
When Mike Weir won the Masters,
they filmed Jurassic Park there, bro. It's like you hear these sounds. You're like, dear God, you're looking around.
At night, yeah. I'll tell you this. Mike Weir won the Masters. I think it was my biggest win. I won 16 grand, and I went on this European cruise with my ex. So we're sitting there. I'm in Gibraltar. So we're basically there, or you can gamble on the boat. And we're sitting there at a monkey sanctuary. And this guy comes up to me, I go, "Hey, these monkeys look pretty cool." He goes, "Are you an idiot?" He goes, "No, they're not nice. They fly and they're mean." And the guy took a leak right on me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I had an apple, he came out, he took it from me, then he pissed on me. And I'm like, wow, these monkeys, like, people don't understand. Monkeys aren't like these friendly, furry guys that are mean.
The only jungle I go to is Las Vegas. I think we got Paul Bovey back.
Yeah, Peter Paul.
Are we good with Paul?
I hope so.
How am I doing?
Nope.
Am I all right?
You're doing good, Paul. You're doing good. Hey, we love you, Paul.
How you doing, Paul? All right. Where are you anyways tonight? Where are you?
He seemed frustrated, beat down.
Yeah,
Paul.
well, it's anxious moments. I missed you guys last week. I was in mourning because of the Knicks, and I couldn't come on. So, here we are this week, and I figure I got to make up for lost time.
You conveniently dodged the bullet, you said, last week with the Knicks. You didn't want to face up to the music.
Did you put the Knicks ticket under your pillow, Paul? Is that where it is?
No.
It was.
You know what?
It was a sad day. It really was. I mean, what are you going to do?
That's why you opened up with the Rangers.
So imagine flying cross country, inter-country, intra-country, whatever you want to call it. And there I land in New York, and I'm all hyped up. And then lo and behold, everything hits the fan, and that's it. But anyway, here we are. We're making money in hockey. I do have Dallas for the series. I did escape a little bit by taking Edmonton tonight. I laid $1.25, $1.26. So I'll capture some of my outlay, but not enough. And I probably should have stepped in more when Dallas took that commanding 2-0 lead. And let's face it, that Edmonton penalty-killing group has been fantastic. I mean, Dallas is
shorthanded goal tonight.
Yeah,
massive
shorthanded goal at 2-2. Dallas looking to break the schneid. They haven't scored a power play in God knows how long, and then Edmonton completely turns it around, flips the script, and actually gets one of their own. So here we are, 2-2, and you're probably right. You cash your over 5.5, but this one's likely going to 7.
Yeah, you know what? I had an NBA one, Paul. Mavericks plus 2.5 games, which hit obviously against the T-Wolves, and the Pacers plus 3.5. I needed the Pacers to win one game. I didn't abandon ship. I didn't hedge. I didn't bail on it. And it was just 4 games of frustration in a row. 3 of the 4 in which they were leading late and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm a little shell-shocked by these parlays, but we're getting close. 4-2, 7 minutes left right now. More with Bovey on the other side.